Good evening, Commissioners. I would like to call to order the July 28, 2022 Recreation and Community Services Commission regular meeting at 5:33 p.m. I will go ahead and do a roll call at this point in time. Commissioner Matthews, Commissioner Gomez,
Present.
Commissioner Nelson, Commissioner Torreblanca, Commissioner Wu,
Here.
Commissioner Herrera,
Present.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Present.
Thank you so much. I'd like to remind the public that this meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom. The public is accessing the meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The commission members and I, along with the city staff and recording secretary, are in different locations. Please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the technology. Thank you so much for that. I would like to go ahead and do Pledge of Allegiance. Can I have Vice Chairperson Remedios lead the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Sure thing. Can everybody put their hands over their heart? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Members of the commission, the information that I have for everyone today is that at the pleasure of, and I will introduce him real shortly, at the pleasure of the executive director, we are looking to move the new business items to next month as a result of one, we don't have all commissioners present at the meeting today, as well as we have some of our staff that is actually out ill today. So in order to really provide very concise and an in-depth report to you guys and to our public out there, we felt that it was best to move these items over to the next month for the next meeting that we will have. So that's the information that we have there. We will go ahead and move forward with the staff reports for the staff that are here today, but the new business we will push over to next month. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Sounds great.
That's fine.
That's okay with me.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. Now, at this time, I have the distinct pleasure to introduce our new Executive Director of Parks and Recreation and Community Service. This is Mr. Hawk Scott. Mr. Scott, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Very pleasant good evening to you, wherever y'all may be. Some of you I've seen out at the parks, Roberto, Angie, Ruby. I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting you, and Andres. I don't think I have either, but I've seen, I've followed in our commission. So, hopefully Ruby and Andres, I get to see you guys soon, meet you, see you in person. Angie, Roberto, hope to see you guys out at the parks again. It's been great meeting you guys and, meeting the public. And like I said, so far been here a month now. So again, I said Mike and Brian, are in here too. Ethan Fisher, bunch of great coworkers that have really welcomed me into the city, and very fortunate to have a supporting, commissions. We have support groups like you guys, our city managers, Sin City managers. So it's great to be here. And like I said, for you guys, I'm available anytime you guys need me. I mean, that's just how I am, so any concerns, anything like that, come up to myself or my team and, all my coworkers, and, we'll get you taken care of and answer the questions you guys have, concerns. So that's all I really got. And like I said, thank you guys for, taking time out of your, lives and, work schedules to, be a part of this. It is very important that, we do have a, vision out there and a voice for the people as well. So thank you. I wasn't on mute, right? I wasn't on mute, right? Because that would have been a shame, right?
No, that's fine. Thank you, Executive Director Scott. Does anybody from the members of the commission have any questions for our Executive Director?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ruby.
Oh, yes, it's nice meeting you, Mr. Scott. I just want to tell you I would like to hear a little bit of view of what you see the Park and Rec doing in the next few years, and what you have done before too. So
Yeah, no, again, so like I said, I come from, like I said, gonna show my age here, but fortunate to be 42 now. So I've got about 22 years of experience in the parks, recreation, and aquatics field. I've done monster projects, in Brownsville, El Paso, Texas. And, here, they've got a brand new master plans they've put out. They've got the coherent master plan going for the zoo. So I'm excited to, dive right into both of those, continue the one at the zoo. And like I said, I see Ethan's going to give you guys a great update of what we got going on there and some exciting. So like I said, my vision is, me, I'm community. I'm all about community. I'm all about the people. And, myself, you're going to see me out there at the events. You're going to see my coworkers out there at the events, fraternizing with people, talking to people, because again, Parks and Recs, it's for you. It's for you guys to have fun. It's for the community to have fun. It's for you guys to come out to our events, to feel safe, and you'll be able to do activities that, during these tough times right now that, hey, Parks and Rec's going to be there for you to, help you, through these troubling times. And, the past couple of years, you guys have experienced it. I experienced it in El Paso, and it wasn't fun, but at the same time, we have been blessed with, having the support of, like I said, our commission here and, the community to do what we do. And like I said, if you guys haven't been out to some of our events, they're a lot of fun. So like I said, my vision is, to just, get out there and, see what we can do for the community, see what we can do for you guys. But at the same time, looking at all our parks, our recreation, and our facilities, how we can improve them, how we can upgrade them, how we can, acquire more, land to, build, great things for everyone to enjoy, not just our community, but, for our surrounding communities, as well as, people that come and visit. If you guys have family that come from out of town, we want to show off the place. Say, hey, check out what Santa Ana has to offer. I mean, it's just a vision of, I'm a people person, and, I've been to so many areas of the country to see what Parks and Rec does for people and the community. So again, that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to do, and again, it takes a huge support team. And like I said, I'm very, very blessed to come into a situation where, all my coworkers, feel the same way.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Executive Director Scott. Are there any other questions from the commission? And I did see that Commissioner Matthews just joined us. Welcome, Commissioner Matthews. The gentleman in the screen is our new Executive Director of Parks and Recreation and Community Services. His name is Scott. You're more than welcome to, if you have any questions for him, Commissioner Matthews, you're more than welcome to go ahead and chime in.
Thank you. My apologies for clocking in late here. I was just jumping off another meeting. Welcome, Mr. Scott. I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, like I said, you guys, I'm cool with being called Hawk. Like I said, my parents gave me a very unique and fun name. So, Hawk, you gotta throw the director and a director. Hawk's fine, Director Scott, but preferably, Hawk. I said I love the name my parents gave me, so Hawk's cool.
Well, nice to meet you, Hawk.
Yeah, no, nice to meet all of y'all. And thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
And can I say welcome, Amina? I didn't know you were part of the commission.
Hey, Angie, I thought I recognized you. I'm like, is that Angie from T-Hawk?
Oh, Amina, that's great. You got good people on this commission.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. Are there any other questions for Executive Director Scott?
I do have one more thing to add, guys, and it's, just to go along with what I was saying. Just to remind you guys that, the power of positivity and the power of us working together as a community, what we can accomplish together. And that's something I firmly believe in. So just that, you're going to find out about me. I'm a happy person, go person, a lot of energy. So just, keep that in mind. And, as we move forward, and like I said, I'm here to stay. I'm very, very thankful to be here. So.
I I have some comments, Executive Director Scott. Pleasure thank you for coming, and would like to learn more about kind of where you're coming from, but with the launch of our
Right. Here you go. Here, this will help. Everyone, I kind of do this. How's that? There, from Texas.
We need to incorporate a Santana background, Executive Director. We'll send you a picture of a.
I got some good backgrounds, but that's kind of like the icebreaker in there. Everyone's always giving me jokes about Texas. So all right, I'm gonna have the Alamo behind me, but nah, go ahead, sir.
Yes, just wanting to, I know that there's a lot in regards to the Parks Master Plan as I've been reading it and trying to grapple and work towards its accomplishment. And so, happy to meet with you to discuss like Ward 3 parks, Ward 3 areas. I know we were at the movies at the park, but just wanted to share, congratulations for the position.
Yeah, thank you. As I said, now the master plan is a beautiful thing. And again, when we tell people, hey, be patient, like I said, right now, we're very thankful of what the situation we're in, and we're going to, go full steam into it. But again, as you guys know, things happen, things arise. But again, our focus is, to deliver that master plan to you guys to where, the community, the surrounding communities are just happy. It was like, wow, look at Santa Ana leading the charge.
Thank you, Executive Director Scott. Are there any other questions or comments for the director? Thank you. Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and move to the public comments section. There are no public comments at this point in time. We are now at the consent calendar, and the consent calendar is for the minutes of the regular meeting of June 23rd and excuse absences. Can I get a motion in a second?
I motion to accept the minutes of June 23rd.
Okay, can I get a second?
I second.
Second.
Thank you. We'll do a roll call now. Commissioner Matthews,
Yes.
Commissioner Gomez,
Yes.
Commissioner Wu,
Yes.
Commissioner Herrera,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Yes.
Duly noted. Thank you. As we stated earlier, we are going to table the new business items until next month. So we'll be, you guys will be seeing this again at the August meeting. At this point in time, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the informational items. And now these are informational items. There are no action needed to be taken on these. These are receive and file items. We'll start with the library staff report.
All right. Good evening, members of the commission. Thank you for having me out again this evening. My name is Brian Sternberg. I am the Library Services Director for those of you who do not know me or who have not had a chance to meet me yet. Echoing a lot of what Hawk, Executive Director Scott has said. Exactly. If you have concerns, questions, comments, things that you want to know about the library, always feel free to email me, call me, contact me. We do have our closing announcement going up, so pardon me for the PA announcement here. So I'm just going to give you kind of a brief update on some exciting things that are happening here at the Santa Ana Public Library. I'll do this monthly, and of course, at the end, you can ask me any questions, even if it's not related to what's on there, if you just have questions about our service. So we have a main library restoration and renovation coming up. We're in the design phase for it right now. We're working with a really great architect out of San Francisco who just finished the Yorba Linda Public Library, a brand new facility for them. And this architect is named Group 4. They are going to work with us to really rethink and reimagine our library. But of course, we want to hear back from the community and you about what you'd like to see at our library. So we have a community survey that's up on our website. So if you just go to www.santa-ana.org/library, it's the first thing right on the page. You can take the survey. It just talks about the types of information, or not information, but services and the types of programs and experiences you want to see at the public library. Public library is a lot more than just big warehouses for books. that's kind of a really a philosophy from, really the 1980s, 90s, and even before that. So really now we do a lot more of what, community centers do, but we kind of build in that educational element as well. That's kind of our lens and what makes us in some ways a little bit different than a Parks and Rec department. So we have this great restoration coming up. The idea will be to bring back, the building is historic here. So, and it went through a renovation in the late 80s, early 90s, it was finished. But what we're going to do now is bring back a lot of that original design intention, but do it in a really modern, tech-focused and interactive way, building in elements of children's museums that we always see packed, on weekends. Those places are filled. So we want to bring some of those types of elements, especially to our children, to our youth services area, as well as to our teens as well. So look for that on our website, and please take the survey. We've also put it out through our social media channels. It's also, like I said, on our website. We're really eager to engage the community on this one. We're also attending neighborhood association meetings to promote this as well. And it also goes out in our library newsletter. Feel free, if you go on our website, you can sign up for our library newsletter. If you're not already on there, you can learn a lot about our monthly programs and a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about here tonight. Next thing I want to discuss is our library card design contest. We're looking to the community to design one of our next library cards. So this is also on our website. You can fill it out and do it online. You can submit your submission online, or you can do it old-fashioned way, draw it, bring it on into the library, and we'll submit that as well. And then our staff here, through a combined effort, will choose the favorite of what the community submits, and that person will have their design as our next library card. So we look forward to doing that and getting the community to help us reimagine what our library cards look like. Next, I want to talk about our Chromebooks and computers to check out. So we have 2 different types of computers now that we actually can check out to you and take home. They're new. We have one that's a Chromebook kit. So that will come, it kind of comes in a whole special technology kit. You get a hotspot with it, you get a carrying case, you get a mouse, you get headphones, you get this whole package. You can check it out from the library. We check it out, anybody who wants it, really go home. You can use it, for school, work, whatever it might be. It's just another way to get hotspots, computers, to try to bridge that digital divide into as many community members' hands as possible, especially those that need it the most. We also have a new computer, a new type of Chromebook, where you don't even need a hotspot. We have it with a built-in SIM card, just like on your cell phone. So you can check out a Chromebook, and it's kind of just like a tablet or a phone at that point. You just open it up. You don't have to worry if you don't want all the extra equipment. You just want a Chromebook, take it somewhere, not have to connect. We got a SIM card right in there for you. So we have 500 of those that we're checking out. So there are plenty to go around. So please, if you know anybody who needs a computer, especially over the summer, schools may take back those devices. We got them at the library. So come on in and check those out. And lastly, all I want to do is just, plug our upcoming programs. We still have a little bit of time left on our summer reading program, Camp SAPL. A lot of fun events and activities tied to that. We have performers that come in frequently as part of this program. There's prize giveaways, we do magic shows and everything else under the sun, musical performances, all geared towards kids and families. We also, though, have a summer reading program specifically for teens and adults as well. So you don't just have to be a little one to participate. And then if you look through our report, you'll see a big list of all of our July programs. Check it out, check them all out on our website. We have a full calendar up there ready to go. You can see exactly what's going on. Please look at it. We have something most days. We have lots of programs here all the time at the Santa Ana Public Library, and sign up for our newsletter. Like I mentioned before, you will, you'll get all that information there as well. So that is the end of my report. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them now. All right.
I just wanted to add, guys, that Brian and his teams, have been coming out to our movies in the parks, and they have been phenomenal out there, hanging out with the kids, getting people interested, activities. So, hey, Brian, thank you, man. It's awesome to see you guys out there. They were also out there for the symphony in the park. So it's great that, we have that collaboration and work together, and that's something we're going to really build on. So if you guys haven't had a chance, come check out the bookmobile or whatever.
We call it it's called the Knowledge Mobile, but
Knowledge Mobile. My apologies.
We call it the NOMO though. Just the NOMO. The NOMO. That's our new vehicle. It's out. I really see. Parks and Rec in many ways is really our. Kind of like our cousins. So many of our services are complementary, and we really try to be out there and support all those big events like concerts in the park, movies in the park. With our bookmobile, with our NOMO Knowledge Mobile, we're going to be out there a lot at all these events. Even for events that, if we're double booked on our NOMO, we'll get a booth out there. We got a prize wheel. We give away lots of stuff at these community events. So absolutely, we are community focused and centered here at the Santa Ana Public Library. And thank you, Hawk. I look forward to a great working partnership with you as well. I'm excited for what the future will bring and a lot of the collaboration that
yes, sir,
we can do. So
I want to throw that out there. They've been awesome out there, and even me and the main one out there have a secret handshake. So if you all see
I heard about the secret handshake.
You've heard about so, you guys get a chance to see it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But again, we're people, come visit us. We're people, man. It's awesome. So
absolutely, and we're already in the planning stages, very early planning stages for a second, much larger bookmobile. So look for that, very early, but hopefully we can get it here, in the next 12 to 18 months, a brand new vehicle to complement what we already have, which is kind of a smaller tech van that carries a more limited size collection. But look for the big one coming out. That one should be really exciting. So thank you all. Take care. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Director Sternberg. I do see that Commissioner Herrera has his hand up. Go ahead, Commissioner Herrera.
Director Sternberg, I have some comments and questions. Don't go just yet.
Sure.
I had, in regards to the library renovations, I think it would be really cool if we could incorporate some LGBTQ history. If there's still some form of design, or I don't know, LGBTQ corner. Or, I know that the books can be categorized in that as well. So I know that we do have LGBTQ history here in the city. And so I would like to see that incorporated in some way if possible.
Absolutely. Thank you for that feedback. One of the things we're already doing, was just the staffing for it was just recently approved by our council in terms of our budget, but we will be launching what we're calling a Teen Time program that will be out at a couple of community centers. We're still working on the exact locations, but at some rec centers. And a big part of those programs will be focused on LGBTQ plus inclusive programming. So look for those. We're going to launch a kind of a programming line that directly targets programming for people who are LGBTQ plus and want a safe and inclusive place to be. So absolutely, already in the works. That will be a part of our programming for sure.
Great, thank you. I was out there on Edna Park for the movies in the park, and I saw the Knowledge Mobile, and it was really beautiful to see library books, out in the parks. And I thought if we could maybe have, or I don't know if it's already there, like a LGBTQ section for books. I know for like maybe youth and parents, like my mom, she found this book in Spanish that really helped her in terms of coming to terms with accepting her gay son at the time, so I'm like, maybe I want to donate that book, or I think it would be important. I was kind of like looking through the books and trying to see like, where are the queer books, where are the LGBTQ books? And so I think if it's a little bit more visible, that would, folks that are like maybe not be looking, but hey, they stumble upon it. Like, I didn't think that this would be here, but it's here. So that was a suggestion.
Absolutely.
The other one was in relationship to funding. A majority of the programs that you're using for the library are coming from. Do you know where those like pots of funding? Is it mostly Measure X, cannabis, the ARPA funds?
So I mean, most of our programs at the Santa Ana Public Library are staff led. So that means it's just a matter, for the most part, it's just a matter of staff time and supplies and whatever we're doing. A lot of our technology that we have and that we're using now was actually purchased using the American Rescue Plan Act or Revive Santa Ana funding. And that's a part of, if you go on our website, we have a whole, it's right up on the front page, can't miss it. It says Revive Santa Ana programs. You click on that, all those technology and digital literacy programs are right up there. And like I said, these programs are going to be ongoing. So even though we got funding to buy lots of stuff, new stuff, it's not like we're going to, stop those programs, when the Revive Santa Ana ARPA, program has, sunset or, it's no longer. We plan on, keeping those programs going, replacing that equipment incrementally as it gets outdated. So you'll always see that. But the Revive Santa Ana funding was a big jumpstart for us to kind of launch that. So yeah, I mean, we get funding through, either Measure X, we get a lot of funding through cannabis, and of course we get our general fund funding. So that kind of all goes into, the pool and how we're able to, distribute our programs throughout the community. So it's really a combination. Most of our staff, though, is general fund funded, but we do have some staff as well, part-time funded through cannabis and Measure X too. So all three.
Great. Thank you so much, Director Sternberg. I have no further questions or comments.
You're welcome, Commissioner. Thank you for the feedback. Really valuable. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrera. I do also see that Commissioner Ruby has her hand up. Go ahead, Commissioner Wu.
Commissioner Wu, I think you might be still muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, I'm so glad to hear of the restoration of the library and all the programs are so exciting. And I too was very glad to see it at the movie night at El Salvador Park and stuff. But one of the things I think might be also looked at is the parking lot is not friendly or inviting or safe. Is there a possibility we could have a book mural put on it or a character of significant that makes it look part of the library? Because as my children and we're going there, it always seems so sterile and not inviting. But because City of Santa Ana is doing so many murals in so many different places, and I've even seen it in apartment buildings that look really enhanced, the area updated, that we might have a commission of a mural of some sort put on that parking lot to know that this is part of the library.
Oh, thank you so much for that feedback, Commissioner Wu. So are you referring to the parking structure next door to the library?
Yes.
That's actually a county parking structure. So the library does not have any control over that specific parking structure. It's actually
too bad.
Yeah. However, I have really great news. So there's that might be too bad, but I have really, really great news because as a part of our renovation, that is one of the biggest things that I have identified as a barrier to access, especially at our main library, is the parking situation. It is really, it can be challenging to find parking and to know where parking is when you want to visit Santa Ana's main library.
Exactly.
And I absolutely agree with you 100%. And as a part of the main library renovation and restoration, that is something that I'm going to address. And what we're going to do is to try to build in a number of parking spots by kind of reconfiguring the area around our south entrance of the building. The north entrance faces directly onto Civic Center, but really reconfigure that whole south area that backs up to the Civic Center and then eventually to the Plaza of the Sun and City Hall, and create parking there so people can just pull in. Like, you know, if you go to the Orange Public Library, you can just pull right in. There's a spot and it's really friendly. So my intention is to duplicate that through this renovation and restoration at the main library. It is at the top of my list. So be sure and know that that will happen.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that, because that's one of the determinants of me not going there as bringing my children, but I wanted to make it as positive, wanting to go there and safe. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you do need, I mean, we do offer validation for that, the P3 courthouse library structure. You can just pull in there and we do validate for 2 hours. So you can still take advantage of that. I know it's not a great setup, but that's kind of where we are before we can get all of our parking as a part of the renovation. So thank you for that feedback.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Wu. Commissioner Gomez, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
Hi. Hey, Brian. So quick question. In the movies at the park, do you guys offer free books for the kids? I did ask this time and they say they didn't. So I don't know if they don't at all or do they run out? But I think it's a good idea if we give out books.
Yeah, we do give out books at a variety of different programs. You know, at the park, we've just been, you know, checking out like normally at the library. But yeah, we could definitely look into that. And maybe when we have a program in the future, you know, we can buy some books. You know, it's just a matter of budget and supplying books for everyone. But yeah, we've done it. We continue to do it, especially we have our author hour events that happen monthly, Commissioner Gomez. And, you know, we always offer, you know, buy free books, you know, for the community of those. At Dia de los Niños, I believe we had some, you know, free, if you attended that one, we had some free book giveaways as well. So we do that, but I will definitely note that for staff to include that as a part of our programs and see what we can do to offer some books.
At the park, I know you guys give out books other times and they don't have to be new books. Honestly, books that maybe you can't check out, so donate to friends of the library. But I love free books, and I think it should be for all our residents. I love reading, and I think if we spread that around, it just eliminates a barrier to literature. If we do give away even a used books, honestly, words are still there. I love used books. New books doesn't matter. Anybody who loves to read, they don't really care what the books look like. It's the content that's inside, and if we could, that would be great. Just a suggestion.
Will do. I love that suggestion as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Gomez. Commissioner Ramirez, I see your hand up. Go right ahead.
How's it going, Mr. Sternberg? First of all, I want to say I appreciate all your work that you're doing. It's really a lot of work you're doing, and I appreciate everything you're doing for it.
Thank you.
I have 2 questions. First one is, how long will you guys be having the survey up on your website for the renovations? How long are you guys planning to have that up for?
So it's going to be up through the end of September. It's been up, maybe it's been up about a month or so now, maybe a couple months. I'd have to look back and check when we actually went live on it. But I'm definitely planning on having it up through the end of September. And we're going to see how much, we've gotten a good amount of feedback so far, but the intent is to leave it up for at least a couple more months.
And then for the other questions, it's kind of a 2-parter. First one is, do you guys have any leave a book, take a book sections in the library or in the NOMO?
Leave a book, take a book. So that's kind of like the little free library kind of model. We don't have anything like that. What we kind of do is we utilize our Friends of the Library bookstore. You know, really that's kind of where we want to encourage the usage here at the library. They're all really affordably priced. We're talking like, you know, quarter type of thing or less. You know, there's always an opportunity though to, you know, donate books and or through our friends and help out our friends, you know, especially, you know, with our fundraising here, help support, you know, library programs and things like that. When you come in through the south entrance, you'll see all of our Friends of the Library books, and that's kind of like that model. And I know different residents and things like, and they do little free libraries throughout the community as well. So I kind of tend to, you know, I like to let that go out to our community and let our residents, you know, put those up on their property and take care of those. It's kind of a fun thing for the community to do.
Yeah, I've seen a little station for the take a book, leave a book on Flower. I usually see on my way to work. It's on Flower. Some person that's outside their house, and I love to see it. I'd love to see if it's possible at any time to add either a small 4-book like size or limit or any option possible to add that. Just leave a book, take a book. I allow some people to come into the events that you guys do to offer some books that they think are good for the community, and also take some books that they may seem interested in.
Yeah. Sounds good. Maybe I can work something like that with our Friends of the Library. Like instead, you know, you can donate a book and grab a book. So let me see what I can do. Absolutely.
For sure. All right, awesome. I just want to say that and thank you again for all the work you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
They have one of those take a books at the zoo. I was like, what's this doing here? I mean, you know, good, that's good. But I was like trying to think about how that happened. I have one more question in relationship to our library cards. I know I've been seeing a bunch of libraries post about getting access to a state park.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find it on our website. I couldn't. So I don't know.
It's on our website. We had it up big promotional. Now it's just, if you go to Santa Ana Public Library's website, you can look, it's down at the bottom of the page. If you go down under common services, I'm just on our website right now. It's right down at the bottom of our front page of our website. You can click on park passes and you can see where they all are and to see which ones. They're super popular. The state has a limited quantity. I believe we have over 40 of them now. There are some limitations on that, and that's explained through the program. But you can place a hold on them and get on the waiting list. They're super popular. I don't have any control over, you know, getting like 500 of these things. They're issued through the state, but I'm trying to get as many as I can. And we will be getting even more to help reduce the waiting list on some of these. So it's usually you can place a hold and then, you know, they'll come in. Of course, you'll get contacted and, you know, have time to come pick up your hold. But yes, we have them. It's just right on the bottom of the page. You just click park passes and you can see it. You can place a hold on them. We'll let you know as soon as they get here and you can check them out. And they're good for state parks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Director Sternberg. Up next is the Parks and Facilities Staff Report. I have Mr. Mike Ortiz, Principal Civil Engineer with Public Works.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me all right? I
hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Thank you. I too will introduce myself. I've attended meetings in the past, but more just from the public side. I'm also Santa Ana homegrown here, John Adams, McFadden Valley High School. And I've been blessed to have my entire career with the City of Santa Ana Public Works Agency. I'm an engineer by trade, and I've always been involved with the park system on the engineering, design, construction side. But as you are, I'm sure you're aware, the park maintenance, we call it park services portion of a rec has come over to Public Works to take advantage of the resources we have with everything we do on the public right of way. So we have that long staff report with all of the improvements that are either in design, construction, a lot of exciting things and more to come with all of the ARPA funding that's going to be identified. a big chunk of it going towards library and parks, more restrooms, and trying to acquire more land for more open space, all of the stuff that you guys have kind of made it easy for us by paving the way through the Parks Master Plan. So a lot of it is right in line with that. I've had the pleasure of working with Ethan and Brian more closely now, and now Hawk, who's on board. It's been great. We're going to continue to work closely to make sure that we're out of the way on any special events when we're building. If you had a chance to look at the staff report, it's got a little bit of a different layout. My colleague Susie is really going in there, diving into not just the big projects that everyone knows about, the multi-million-dollar, your Santa Anitas and your stadium turf renovations, but also all of the things that our maintenance guys are doing so that they feel really good about the stuff they're doing. And we're doing a facilities condition assessment, which is huge. Nobody will know about it, but it'll help us pave the way like we do in public works. For the next 10 years, we'll know what roads need to be repaired. We'll know what buildings need to be repaired and what AC units and what playground equipment to prioritize. So we'll do like an asset management of all our entire park system. What else are we doing? We're also, converting all of the fields to LED lighting, which, that's huge stuff that's going on. So really, I'll introduce myself. I'll say it's been a pleasure to work with the team and dive more into parks. I've always been involved on the capital construction side, but now it's also all the maintenance and working with REC to make sure it's a seamless operation. And I look forward to working with you guys and attending these on a regular basis. And, I'm an open book as well. I have a, city issued cell phone that I always have attached at the hip. So at any time, if there are any issues, you can feel free to reach out to me directly as well. And with that, I'll leave it open for any questions on any of the projects, or if there's anything you'd like for me to highlight. I know there are a couple that are highlighted in the agenda.
Hi, Mike Ortiz. Thank you so much I missed your title. I usually try to respect with title, but manager supervisor Ortiz or with Public Works. No,
I'm Mike. Just like Hawk City's Hawk, I'm Mike. It's okay.
No, I really, well, thank you so much. I did have some questions in regards to the parks and facilities. I did have a presentation wanting to ask about Santiago Park. So for the Santiago Park residents, I'm so sorry, we can have an update at our next meeting. But some of the questions that did come up in regards to some of the residents, the projects and design, I really want to thank Susie, really trying to grapple with the Santa Anita Park renovations. And trying to provide input. You realize that this project is like well beyond, trying to provide input. So in the way that the design, the bids and the projects that are completed really illustrates for the public and for us to provide input, strategic input, right? For where these projects are going. One that I got a question for was Centennial Park, the dog park. I know that there were 3 designs that were considered. One of them, I believe, was selected. And so I would just like the public were like, hey, we want to see all 3 designs. We want to see at least like the design that was selected for the Centennial Dog Park.
Absolutely. We'll get that right over to the commission.
Great. And then the other questions that I had in relationship to the projects, when I was out there, one of the things that came up for me was lighting, how to at least like trying to wrap trees with lighting, or like just because the way that some of the parks were, for instance, at Birch Park, trying to get that like, I'm like, maybe we can light this up a little bit here. Other types of lighting that came up for me was when I went to Madison Park, a Memorial Park, right there under the stage where the mural is. There are 2 lights that are out. And so so I think that those were things that came up for me. And then also the shades on the parks. I know the park facilities, we don't have a lot of shades, and I went out there and they're really hot. So I'm like, dang, maybe we missed this in the design phase. So I'm curious in regards to, I know I just threw a bunch at you, but it's because there's a lot that's coming up, but at least one of them is the coverings for the shades for the park amenities. Is that something that would be incorporated moving forward, or can we go back and reinstall some of those shades for some of the park amenities that we have?
There's always an opportunity to go back and install them. We try to incorporate them in any design. Absolutely. And I'll offer the same thing Hawk did. If you want to meet at some of these parks, that'll make it easier to go. I hate to kind of generalize things. If we were to meet at a park and say, okay, at this, we just did it today at Riverview. We went out there, we met with the league president, the neighborhood, and they have concerns, and we're not going to get to everything right away, but we can say, this is what we're going to do now, this is what we're going to do later, and this is what we can plan for and try to budget for. And then now everybody has realistic expectations of what to come. So when we say shade structure, if you were to tell me that a project's in the design phase right now, I think Hawk and I would say, yeah, let's add shade where it's possible. If it's in construction, now we got to see how's the progress of the construction going, how's the budget. And if there's nothing going on there, then we're looking at our budget and the prioritization of where we would either add shade or replace existing shade structures. Like the example we just gave with sports lighting, we're putting in high-end Musco systems, and the low-hanging fruit is to upgrade existing lighting systems, because that you get more bang for your buck. A lot of the infrastructure is in place, where running a whole new system to a field that doesn't have any lighting is a little more costly. So then that's where we have to plan for that a little more. You get electrical design and everything versus just upgrading to LED. So those would be the things where if we pinpoint locations, I'd be happy to meet with you, Commissioner Herrera, at any one of these locations, and we could tell you, string lights are a great idea here, or string lights will get vandalized right away at this park or at this location. So maybe we got to protect it or do this, go through some other options maybe.
Thank you so much. You're reminding me a lot of my brother. He's in construction, so this is quite helpful. So yes, I'll take you up on that offer. I've been visiting the parks and I've been taking pictures. I'm like, wait, so I think you're the person I would go to contact. So thank you so much. I have no further questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, walking meetings are great, man. I mean, I love doing walking meetings, meeting at the parks. Is one, it gets you out, gets you a little bit of exercise, and you can actually see it first and foremost. And that's when I brought Mike out there today, and we, like I said, that's something we want to incorporate. We can meet here, great, but hey, no, let's go meet out at one of our parks, so we can see it firsthand.
I have a quick question, Mike. Can you tell me what's the plan for the McFadden Park, the one on McFadden and Standard, that big lot that's there? Are we looking to do something, beautify it a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. That park is under design right now. I don't know if any concepts have been shared with the commission. If not, I can see where we're at, even if it's, whatever stages, that's a perfect one to share with you the concepts. Absolutely. I know that at minimum, they'll know. At minimum, they'll know the key pieces, like, is it a skate park? Is it a playground equipment? Is it, and a lot of times it's the immediate vicinity who decides on some of the major amenities. But absolutely, I'll make note to share Standard and McFadden latest design concept.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Matthews. Go ahead, Commissioner Wu.
Yes, I guess I want to piggyback on some of the comments that's going on. I think the community, and I've had residents ask me what projects are in a different park, and maybe, I don't know if you could just have someone in the staff kind of share when you're doing a new project to go to some of the neighborhood associations, because we all have so many questions and we take an interest of what's going on the park. So if you would look at that as part of your duties, I would really appreciate it, because there are so much rumors of what's going to go on, or some people think they don't have a say in the parks. And I would like to change that conception that we are looking for community input and that this is going on in certain parks and projects. And when you're starting a new project, that maybe you should reach out to the neighborhood association or whatever groups in that area that's concerned about some of the issues and the progress of some of it too, that's going on. So that's just the kind of comment that I have, because we have so many questions of what's going on at that park.
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate that comment. I do remember working with you, Ruby, back when I worked in traffic engineering. And as you know, in public works, that is kind of instilled in our nature. When improvements are coming or anything like that, we work closely with Margarita Macedonio on getting on some of those agendas. So we will make that a standard practice to attend neighborhood meetings and provide just general updates on the local parks. Absolutely. That's
Okay,
a great.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Commissioner Wu. At this time, we'll go ahead and move forward. Up next is the Santa Ana Zoo staff report with Zoo Manager Ethan Fisher.
Hello, good afternoon, commissioners. It's great to see everyone again. I'll go through some of the updates about what is happening at the zoo right now. Some animal updates. We have a whole bunch of new birds in the aviary. They're pretty fun to see. They're very personable and out in front. Our mountain yellow-legged frog conservation program, we're working with all the partner entities in that program for this endangered species that is from Southern California. And hopefully we'll have some reintroductions into their native habitats this summer. And then we've also received some tadpoles from the LA Zoo to start our next cohort that will be raising up for the next year or two. Well, we're incubating and hatching out some new rheas. Those are big flightless birds from Southern South America. We actually had some that just hatched yesterday and today. So we're integrating them with the family and seeing how that goes. But we're trying to build up our flock out there. And then the last animal update is our live butterfly experience opened a couple weeks ago. And if you have not yet had a chance to visit that at the zoo, it's really incredible to see all of the beautiful, colorful butterflies flying around and learn about their life cycle, and also learn about pollinator and butterfly conservation and what you could do as far as planting native plants in your yards. You can plant native milkweed for monarch butterflies, and then what you can do to support them and the benefits that they provide the ecosystem and people and other wildlife. Education wise, we're participating in the large events that Parks and Recreation is holding, like the Movies at the Park. We have a presence with the zoo there. We also are ramping up and will be getting ready to start our fall programming when kids go back to school, and we'll have a presence in different parks throughout the city with our park pop-ups. We're doing story time in person now at the zoo on Wednesday mornings, and then we're looking at increasing that into some other days as well. And there's different animal encounter opportunities throughout the week. Still very busy with school trips right now, with many summer camps coming to the zoo. Lots and lots of kids, usually in neon colored shirts. Huge groups of them. So they're definitely enjoying their time at the zoo. And then we have been putting out a lot of new graphic signage, interpretive panels throughout the facility. As always, many different maintenance projects are happening around the zoo, some big, some small, equally important. You want to be able to wash your hands in the restroom just as much as a big construction project like what's going on with the otter habitat. Big thing that happened at the end of June was our AZA inspection. So that was the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. They sent a team of 3 inspectors here. We had the director from Zoo Montana. We had the head veterinarian from Zoo New England, and then we had the vice president for wildlife care from the Reed Park Zoo in Tucson, Arizona. So they came here, they spent 3 days with us. looking at everything in the zoo and talking to staff, looking at all of our submitted materials. And then they are now drafting a report, which they will share with the AZA Accreditation Commission. And at the end of August, a team from Santa Ana staff, and then also elected officials perhaps, and then some of the Friends of Santa Ana Zoo board members will be traveling to Baltimore to the annual conference where we'll have our accreditation commission. So we're hoping that we will regain our AZA accreditation, which is a huge mark of pride for the zoo, for the city. And it's really a testament to the quality of the programs and the services we offer, the animal care that we have here, and then the upkeep of the facility. So that's definitely where we want to be. Zoos in major cities are all AZA accredited, and we want to have that in Santa Ana as well. Other projects going on, hopefully in the near future, we'll get started with our goat encounter area and the construction for that, which will enable the public to come into the goat yard and engage with the animals much closer than they can now, where you're through a fence. So that's hopefully on the horizon. There's continues to be a lot of construction around the outside of the zoo, along Elk Lane and along First Street, improving our appearance on First Street, our front door to everyone that's coming to the zoo. And it looks a little rough right now, but it will improve in the near future with many new plants and landscaping. There's actually some steel cutout monkey sculptures that are going to be installed. It's going to look really nice when it's done. There'll be lighting at night, and so that's coming along. Still working on a new website for the zoo. That's near completion and about ready to go live. We always have many volunteers that are engaged with the zoo. Scouts do Eagle Scout projects here. There's volunteers that help with education programs. They help the zookeepers. And then there's also corporate volunteers that come for one day for community service. So we have all different types of volunteers here. And we had one Eagle Scout that completed his project a few weeks ago. And he mounted all these staghorn ferns, these neat plants for us that we'll put out in the zoo. As far as the Friends of the Santa Ana Zoo, so that's our nonprofit support organization, their big fundraising gala is coming up at the end of August. It's called Starry Starry Zoofari. Also, they held 2 sunset concerts at the zoo at the end of June and in the beginning of July. Really nice events, well attended. And the last thing that's happening is at the end of September, we'll again have an orchid show, which is included with admission. And there'll be some vendors selling orchids, and we'll have educational classes about horticulture and also some displays. So that's a neat thing to see, and that'll be 3 days. Last year when we did it, it did bring a lot of people and a lot of new people from out of the area to the zoo. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Are there any questions from the commission? Go ahead, Commissioner Herrera.
Hi, Director Fisher. I was at the zoo this month, and I went to see the butterfly experience. It was really cute to see a lot of the community members were really enjoying themselves, and it was a really great attraction. I felt the restrooms are really nice. They're probably the nicest I had seen outside of our new ones. So I was like, this is cool. Trash cans were really nice too. There was good amount. I think I would like to see more of like the scene. I have to check out your master plan because I know there's a zoo master plan. But I really felt that there was more shade needed in terms of some of the walkways. And so it was like very hot, so I was like, so I mean, I don't know if it was good for the animals, but like maybe they're used to the heat, or maybe, I don't know, but it was like, maybe, I was also thinking about like the experience of residents also about the, with the park. So that was it. And I did notice some of the signage was in English, and I thought that I did see some Spanish, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I know there's room for improvement. I saw that in the update. So overall, I think the zoo is doing a great job. And so, yeah, just wanted to provide those comments.
Thank you. And I do agree with your comment about shade. we're trying to put some new shade sails up, and then we have been planting a lot of trees over the last couple of years. We planted over 200 trees in the last 3 years. But it does take a few years for them to get big enough where they do much in the shade department.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrera. If there are no other commissioners wishing to make a comment or ask a question, we'll go ahead and move forward. Up next would be the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Staff Report. Mr. Tim Pagano is not joining us this evening. However, the report is attached. If you do have any questions, also Executive Director Huck Scott is here. If you guys did have some questions, however, if anything you would like to ask, you can most likely obviously email it to me, and I will make sure that that information gets over to Mr. Pagano and Mr. Scott.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I have it right here in front of me, and if you'd like, I can go over some of our major highlights if you guys want, or if not, you guys can browse it and like get back to us. I mean, it's up to you guys.
No, the only thing I had, Executive Director Scott, was I know the aquatics programming that we have at the pools. It didn't. I don't know if it was free or not, because it didn't. I know it said Blue Ray Aquatics, and so I'm like, I don't know if this is the city. Is this like a personal, like a private entity, or is it free? So I was like a little confused. So I would have asked Tim Pagano, but Supervisor Pagano, but they're not here, so it's okay. I can get that separately.
I mean, I can answer that a little bit. So our aquatics facilities and programs currently are run through a third party, which is the Blue Ray organization. So they, like I said, they do have the current contract right now, through January. So again, so it's our facilities, but being run by another organization currently.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, if you have some questions on that, feel free to email myself and Tim, and we can get you those exact answers.
Great. It was just the pricing. The other was, I did have a resident reach out to me, Imelda, who the pool resurfacing. I'm trying to think of maybe we can get something on the agenda. I know we're pushed the new business items, so we're gonna have some more new business items, but one of them is being summer ready. And so, the pool resurfacing. She let me know that her son or child had gotten cut from and their feet. So I'm like, so I know that's a conversation. And so I'm like, I can't promise that it's going to be resurfaced by the end of the summer. I was like, but at least we can think about what it means to be summer ready for next year. And so
and like I said, I believe I know what you're talking about, but if you want, just, send us some notes, or we can actually just go, double check, recheck it that, we did get that, myself and then, Mike and his team, we can go, check it out. And if, we can, do something temporarily to make it safe and, make sure there's no sharp edges. Absolutely. We'll get it taken care of right away.
Great. Thank you so much. I'd have more, but I'll hold for next month. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrera. Are there any other commissioners wishing to make a comment or ask Executive Director Scott a question? Thank you. Seeing none, we will go ahead and move to the next item on the agenda. It is now time for commission comments. We'll go ahead and get started with Commissioner Matthews.
No comments.
Thank you, Commissioner. Up next, Commissioner Gomez.
Thank you, Bill. My question, and excuse me, my question is, are we ever going to meet in person? I know the spike is higher now. When it wasn't, we still weren't meeting in person, or is that not in the foreseeable future?
Thank you, Commissioner Gomez. And I know that that's a question that's come up. We're taking direction from the Clerk of the Council. So as soon as we get word from the Clerk of the Council that we are able to meet in public, we'll go ahead and do so. I know that last month I did mention that we're kind of close. We're kind of getting there, and I hope that we are gonna definitely get to that point. But definitely, we'll take direction from the Clerk of the Council, and once we get the leeway, if you will, then we'll definitely start preparing for that.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I am excited to, actually we can start meeting in person so we can feed off each other's energy and our vibe and, maybe even get creative with, where we meet, back in some of my other cities, we would meet at, different parks, different rec centers, just to, spread the love around. So again, I'm with you, Miss Angie, I hope it's soon, but like, as, he was saying, it's up to the clerk and, they get advice from, the local health authority and stuff like that. So, hopefully this spike is, just something temporarily and, we can get back to meeting in person.
Thank you, Commissioner Gomez. Commissioner Wu, any comments?
Yes, I'd like to comment. I'd like all the, I want to say I really like all the family events. That's initially why I've always worked with the Park and Rec. And right now I'm having trouble with my cat. Somehow he wants to.
I'll bring him in. There's nothing wrong. Bring in that cat.
I lost my, what I was going to say. Also, at El Salvador Park, too, we were talking about the swimming, and there's an area that would be really great for a splash pad. So if we could have a talk about that, that would be really great for the usage, because that it's like cement. And also, I would like to see some kind of shade in that area because it gets really hot. And speaking of the zoo, that we can have kind of a carp or something of that sort that I see these days that they use in hotels and restaurants on top that could shade that area at El Salvador Park. So I'd like to have a discussion with that. Also, I heard that there's going to be, if you can, anybody give me any information on how far along that there's possibly going to be an event on August the 26th at El Salvador Park. I'd like to get some more information on that if that's possible later. But welcome on board. I just want to tell you a few things about me. I've been working at El Salvador Park, volunteering at El Salvador Park since my children were going to the daycare center, which has been tremendous. And that's what I like to see there because of the need of the community and all the family events. So I'm glad to see you on board, Hawk.
Yes, thank you. And yes, El Salvador Park, we just had our movie in the park there, but next week we are back there with Coco. So, we know that's going to bring, a lot of families, great movie, well done. So, and like I said, our concerts in the parks are starting, next month too. A lot of fun things coming. And the thing you're talking about, the event toward the end, we'll be making an announcement soon about that and getting the public all the information. So it's coming soon.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner Wu. Commissioner Herrera.
Hi, yes. I want to, it's Latino Conservation Week was this month in the month of July. Latino Conservation Week was created to support the Latino community getting outdoors and participating and promoting conservation efforts to protect our land, water, and air that we currently occupy. So it was cool to see like non-Latino, like dominant cities, like celebrating and acknowledging and trying to bring out more of the Latino community to be at our parks, but also like, hey, we occupy this space. Like, what does that mean? And so there's different ways that cities are engaging in these dialogues in terms of health, tying in health to being out and recreational activities. I think our Parks and Recs department does a really good job of meeting people where they are at, right? And so I think that that's really important in regards to that conversation. So wanted to mention that. I also wanted to mention that this month is We Rise Up for Parks and Recreation Month. Woo! I've been seeing a lot of our programming with that logo. It's really like a national month for Parks and Recreation, and so many cities that are doing Parks and Recs are doing it all in conjunction for We Rise Up for Parks and Rec. I also wanted to mention that the National Parks and Rec Association, I believe, is having they're having their annual conference on September 20th to the 22nd. So it costs some monies to attend, I believe like $100 or $200, but I think it's, if, I don't know if we have any of our staff that's going to be attending, maybe one of us or a group of us or staff can really go next year. I think there's a virtual component as well as an in-person component. It's currently going to be at Phoenix, Arizona this year. So I think I may join virtually and see what the costs are. But it seems like this really cool conference where all these park and rec professionals come together, commissioners, people that work there, and they just talk about parks and like how they do parks. So I don't know, it seems kind of cool. I just want to let you all know that's on the radar. And we also had this month National Zookeeper Appreciation Week. So want to just shout out to our zoo and the zookeepers. We all are part of this Santa Ana community. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Commissioner Herrera. Executive Director Scott, I do see your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch Roberto on the so what's happening in Phoenix this year. It's part of NRPA, which is the National Recreation and Park Society. So every year they do a national conference, and it just so happens this year it's going to be in Phoenix. We are planning on probably sending a couple of our staff out there because it's a great way to network. It's a great way to, there's a lot of vendors from all over the country. It's a great thing. We actually hosted it in El Paso 2-3 years ago. So it's a great event. I mean, everyone's there. That's Parks and Recreation, vendors from all over. But again, every year we also have the state one. Texas had TRAS, but California has the same thing. It's called the California Parks and Recreation Society. So we'll be getting more involved in that. And we're even looking into, ways of getting more involved. And you are correct. July is known as Parks and Recreation Month nationally. So, every year they have a different logo, different concept. We Rise is this year's motto. Next year we'll have a new one. So it's a great thing. And there's just so many great things to, being a part of that society. And like I said, look for Santa Ana to get more involved and, even looking into getting some more accreditations with them to, show the citizens of Santa Ana as well as the community that, we are committed, to this. So just want to give you a little bit more on those things you just talked about. But again, you can go onto the website. I know the California one's pretty easy. It's cprs.org. And then, like I said, it also has a link to the main one. You can check out. I know in the one for Phoenix already kind of got about what's going on and stuff. So good stuff.
Thank you, Executive Director Scott. Up next, Commissioner Ramirez.
Awesome. Don't really have much to say. Just I'm glad to be here. I got really busy the past few months, so I haven't been able to attend. I'm glad I'm finally able to make space for it. I'm really happy I'm here. I've been doing community stuff for almost since my sophomore year in high school. I'm currently 22, so I'm still going on there doing community stuff, and I appreciate everybody who's here. I want to say welcome and congratulations, Mr. Scott, for finding the position. Big shoes to fill with Mrs. Rudolph gone. So a big shoe to fill, and I'm excited to see what I can do to work with you and what we can do to move forward and make the city better in both community and parks. Because one of the things I love the most in my world is giving back to the community.
Absolutely. And I see you got some Cub memorabilia back there, so I love talking baseball. So sorry about this year for you guys, but
that's all right, no worries. But again, welcome, and I'm really excited to work with you.
As am I. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This is the conclusion of the meeting. The next regular meeting will take place on August 25th, 2022. Meeting is adjourned at 6:45 p.m. Thank you all.